Welcome back to SCV Today. My lovely co-host here is holding up Be Your Own Life Coach. It is written by Dr. Dionna Hancock-Johnson. I said that right?
Yes, you did.
And I feel good about myself?
Yes, good job.
You're going to pat me on the back now because I said Dionna right?
You did a good job.
I know how to say Johnson. Welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for the book. And you are a life coach.
Yes, I am.
My first question, and we've had a couple of life coaches on, but I would like to hear your definition of a life coach so that our audience can understand what a life coach is all about.
Okay, so a life coach is someone that can help people overcome their stumbling blocks. Anything that interferes with your daily functioning is going to help you to build out the strategies that you have within yourself. No one knows themselves better than they do. So using internal strategies within yourself to help you overcome the problems that you're having. And so what I usually do is help my clients to figure out the best way to come up with the best possible solution for their situation. And that's normally what a life coach does, but there's so many life coaches, and I guess what I would say sets me apart is being certified. I'm also a psychologist, so I can provide long-term counseling services to those who need it beyond life coaching. So,
well, a lot of times people don't really know what they want. They're so confused, and it's rooted deep in with them. But they need their life coach to pull it out of them.
Right. I believe everyone can use a life coach in some areas in their life. It's just depending on what it is that you need, or what are you feeling like you're falling back on and could use help in. So.
As a mother, the reason why I love life coaches is because there's a point when your children stop listening to you. They think they have all the answers. But a life coach can come in and say the same things mom would generally say, but they're going to listen to the life coach, right?
Yes.
You probably see
they
that
listen to
all
the other person that is not at home. But, you know, I have a son who's 7 as well, and it gets to a point where he decides he wants to stop listening. And I think that he is just, it's not that he doesn't want to really listen, it's just that he's too smart for himself. And he's getting too smart for me. So I think sometimes when you have someone that comes into the house from outside, they kind of want to respect that person like right away. So that's what you probably experienced.
You grew up as one of 8 children in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Is there something from that background that kind of prompted you to want to go into this direction with your career and to be able to help people as a life coach?
Yes, I had a very hard childhood growing up. I was raising my siblings since the age of 2. And by the time I was 8, I was cooking and cleaning. By the time I was 11, I was riding the bus, taking them to school, and carrying 8 to 10 loads of laundry to the laundromat. At 12, I was molested by my uncle, and that lasted for 4 years. At 16, I was physically abused by my first love. And on top of all that, I actually was bullied in middle school and kidnapped, and we lived in a car because we didn't have family support for a short period of time.
Wow. How do you overcome that to then get your doctorate as a psychologist and then be able to, obviously then you've gone through quite a bit in your life, then you can obviously relate to whatever other people have gone through to help them overcome as well.
Right. I feel like when I was growing up, I didn't really have time to focus on dreaming like other people, but I did have opportunities to want to take myself out of the situation I was going through. And for me, reading was that. And I read so many books, at one point I realized I can do this. And that's how I also started writing. But I learned how to life coach myself through believing in myself, believing in God, and staying focused. And it was just one of those things where I felt like I had to be the one to change things for my family, to be the first to get out, to leave D.C., to go to school in Oregon, and, you know, just to keep moving. And I just haven't looked back since.
Do you know have you been able to pinpoint what it was that got you to feel that way and to get you to move forward? Because so many times we get stuck in the world that we're raised in. Was there a turning point for you, or was it just something you just were born with inside you that you knew you needed to?
I think being forced to have to raise my siblings since the age of 2 has caused me to be that bigger person, to figure things out, to think quick on my feet, to figure out solutions and strategies at a young age. And I've always been able to handle a lot more than the normal person could handle because of the things I've just been pushed to do. I've always had people holding high expectations for me, and I hold high expectations for myself. And I think going through the molestation really changed my life to where it made me want to find a new way out. And I wanted to just keep going forward until I found that, I guess I would say, that opportunity to change my own life. And for me, I became obsessed with getting an education. And I thought that was the outlet for me. And I said, I'm going to keep going until I can't get another degree. And so that's where I am now.
That's amazing. What would you say to, because there's so many people out there that suffered something as a child, not nearly as traumatic as what you've been through, but maybe it was bullying, or they were hit by their first love, but it was just one aspect of what you went through. And now they're years later, 30s, 40s, 50s, and they're still suffering from it.
It took me a long time to want to speak out and say I was molested. I didn't even believe in that. I didn't know what that meant, you know, and I think I remember talking to a friend in my master's program, and she was saying, oh, that's something that you went through. That was like being molested. And I finally realized that as an adult, I didn't know what that was. And when I turned 30, I finally got to a point where I was able to speak about it. At first, I was living this place where I felt the victim. I felt that I was going to ruin my reputation if I said it. I just felt like it was just not the right thing to say, especially because people were holding high expectations for me. But for people who are going through it, I would just say that, one, a support system is important. I didn't have a lot of people that I can say this happened to me. And when I did speak about it, I didn't get the help that I needed back to help me get through it. So I ended up walking through that valley myself. But I would say for people, to just take time to really find someone you can trust to speak about it. And if you are in a place where I was and you couldn't, you have to find something inside you to help you move forward, to help you keep being motivated. I like to tell a lot of my clients in my speaking engagements that you need to find that thing that makes you tick, you know, that makes you keep going, keeps winding you up, you know?
Right.
So that's what I would suggest.
Now, in your book, it is about being your own life coach,
Yes.
obviously. So clearly with what you've gone through, what your goal would be, in a sense, is to eliminate your job, if you think about it. Because as a life coach, you're wanting to tell people
how to life coach themselves.
Right. Talk about that.
Yes. What it is I feel like everyone can help themselves become a better person. If you know what's best for you and you just don't know how to reach those resources within you, then you need your life coach. I feel like everyone could be their own life coach because of that strategy that I know what I want to do. I don't want anyone to tell me better than me what's best for me. So I feel like for others, they can use the same strategy. But sometimes they just need help pulling it out. And yes, it could eliminate my job if everyone in the world was their own life coach. But I think that everyone's going to always need a life coach.
Yeah, I think so. Now, recently you've started working with celebrities. How's that been?
It's been good. I love working with celebrities. I love to make them feel comfortable, to make them feel normal, to let them know it's okay to have problems. Because the way you bounce back from a problem is the best solution. Not how what you're doing when you're going through it, but how you're dealing with it. And we deal with juggling reality, the new reality that they have. We deal with financial stability, sustaining personal relationships. We deal with shaking the tabloid rumors, and just basically helping them to overcome what it takes to maintain in the spotlight. So it's been great.
There's two things I want to touch on before we're out of time. One is your book. Where can we find your book?
You can find my book in all the local stores. I am going to be at the Palmdale Barnes & Noble this Friday from 5 to 7 doing a book signing. It is on my website as well, energeticlifecoaching.com or DrDionnaHancockJohnson.com.
With the hyphen or without the hyphen?
Without the hyphen.
Okay.
Thanks for asking that. But on there, if you just go to my site, you can actually choose a link from there to take you to the Barnes & Noble. It's on Amazon, and it's on iPads and Kindle as well. So.
Okay, and also we have a lot of business owners that watch our show, and motivational speaking is something that you do.
Yes.
How is that something that you would be interested in doing out here in Santa Clarita to reach out to people and companies and talk about
life coaching? Yes, I do love to do corporate life coaching as well, to get the group together and teach them cohesive learning. I have recently spoke at the Circle of Hope, which you guys touched on earlier. I spoke with them. This is my second time going to speak with them about a week ago, and I enjoyed speaking with the breast cancer survivors. And I would love to continue to go further than just Santa Clarita. I've also spoke at the Viva House in Hollywood. So yes, I would love to just speak to anyone and everyone. I love helping people find solutions to their problems.
I think you are a true inspiration.
Thank you.
And I know Dave is, as well as I, are very honored to sit by you
Absolutely.
today and to hear your story.
You.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have been through a lot, but I'm happy to be where I am today.
good.
And I want to continue to change people's lives.
Well, you are.
Make a difference.
You are definitely
Thank
doing
you.
that. I can tell that. Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you.
Dionna.
And beautiful to boot.
You kidding me?
All those brains, and she's gorgeous.
I got some drooling here.
Thank you.
And she's married, so.
Yes, I am.
Dr.
Sorry.
Dionna.
And Dave might not be alive for much longer.
Yeah.
You could say you were part of his last interview.
That made history.
That may very well be. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
We
guys,
appreciate it
for having me.
very much. Absolutely. Thank you very much for making a part of your day with us. We hope you have a good rest of your day.